Hi guys. So today I just want to talk a little bit about my college experience, so basically A levels. I was super excited once GCSEs were over to finally be getting back into a mainstream environment. Not that I didn't enjoy myself in the special needs school. I actually found two of my closest friends, one of which was my best friend at the special needs school, and we all decided to move and go to the same college together. So we ended up going to Stanmore College, and obviously they were both a lot smarter than I was, especially those days. They were both quite academic, which I wasn't up until maybe 6 months before GCSEs. But I decided to take on sociology, psychology, and English lit at A levels. And as I said, it was super exciting. We all felt like this is a fresh start for all of us, and we could finally mix back into physically healthy and disabled students, which is the way it should be. It shouldn't be just disabled students segregated in one institution and physically healthy students in another institution. It's not how we're supposed to cohabitate as a society. Anyway, it was a really exciting time, and unfortunately, I didn't really expect it to be such a negative, horrible experience. When I look back on it now, I'm able to accept everything that happened with a great level of confidence and contentment about who I am and who I've become and what I've achieved over the years. But as we all know, at 16, we all feel quite insecure. There's not much self-esteem. It's all about what other people think about us, which isn't really how it should be, but unfortunately, it is how we are, most of us, when we're 16 anyway. So I entered this mainstream institution, looking forward to a bright future, me and my two girlfriends. And not only did I end up really feeling quite disappointed in the whole experience, as I can't say I was bullied, because I was never bullied. I wasn't accepted, per se, into the social cliques and the groups to sit with friends in the cafeteria, or I wasn't included in their groups in the classrooms before class started, and everyone asking how was your weekend and how was your experiences and what did you do and where did you go. No one ever involved me in any of that. I did try a lot to fit in and to kind of force or impose, perhaps you could call it impose, myself on the students a bit, just for them to realize I'm the same as everyone else. There's no difference. I'm sarcastic, I'm funny, I'm bubbly, I'm negative. I can be rude, I can be offensive, I can be flirtatious, I can be funny, I can be every characteristic under the sun. But it's not what they chose to accept. They never said it outright or directly, but it was quite obvious that I wasn't included in any of the conversations or group get-togethers. And that was fine, actually. I was disappointed, I guess, the first 2 or 3 months, but I quickly adjusted, being me. And I decided that my closest friends, who I've known for the last 6, 7 years, are more my priority than a bunch of group of people who I really don't know very well and don't have any loyalties to anyway. And so, one of my good friends, she was quickly accepted within her classroom and her classmates just because she had cerebral palsy. So It's not that she's physically healthy, but she walks with crutches. So she's still able to do everything for herself physically. And she's a very independent, bright young lady. But the problem is, me and my best friend were not able to do anything for ourselves physically. We needed help with feeding, with taking notes, with everything in the class, with the cafeteria, and I feel like that was probably the biggest put off from the other students. And even as adults, 20 years on, some people may not want to be friends with me. Some people may not want me to be part of their social circle. And that's absolutely fine. Now, I've accepted it. I don't have an issue with it. I'm extremely happy and confident with who I am and the woman I've become. But my best friend wasn't as quickly content with the situation as I was. She was very, not just disappointed, she became slightly depressed, which I could see quickly after a few months. And unfortunately, when we started college in September, by November, December, she kept telling me she wants to quit and leave because she wasn't being treated nicely. Again, she wasn't being treated outright rude or directly spoken to badly, but she wasn't being included. She felt very excluded. She felt very disconnected from everyone. And as we all know, that's not a nice feeling. And like I said, she had become quite depressed, and she wasn't like herself at all. She was very sarcastic, arrogant, cocky, and plain, but she was my best friend. Unfortunately, she wasn't doing very well health-wise. Her disability was quickly degenerating, and I felt like the whole college experience didn't help the situation because, like all of us, once we get quite depressed, it's difficult to go on physically and to continue your daily life. Positive outlook, obviously being depressed. And unfortunately, a few weeks into January, so basically 4 months after we started A-levels, she passed away. So unfortunately, I lost my best friend. She was, and she still is today, my best friend. It doesn't matter that 21 years have passed since I haven't seen her. I still look at her as my best friend. I've never had a friend as good as her. I know I'm never gonna have a friend as good as her. It's not possible. She was crazy and out of her mind. In the best possible way a best friend can be. And I feel like actually over the years, I've developed a lot of her characteristics, especially the sarcasm, which I never used to really have. So it's interesting how that's kind of come about. But basically, I lost her just a few months after we started A-levels, so I really spent the rest of a year and a half completely alone in college, which was a really devastating time. Not only had I lost my best friend, not only had I been so disappointed from so many years of waiting anxiously to get into college and back into a mainstream environment, but I just felt completely excluded. I felt completely alone, and it was a really difficult time. So I decided, as usual, to immerse myself into my studies, which is something I've always been quite good at. And I ended up becoming very good friends with my sociology lecturer, who was about probably late 50s, early 60s those days. And I was 16, he was lovely. And he's the one that really inspired me to go and study sociology and become an academic. And he actually encouraged me so much to go and study at uni and to continue with my studies. Obviously, the whole college experience put a really negative taste in my mouth, and I had decided to actually stop studying completely once I finished A-levels. I had applied for a job in June of that year, straight after A-levels. I applied for a volunteer job in North Finchley in London, and it was for a care agency called Bila. And basically, I was just volunteering as one of their care coordinators. But by the end of the summer, end of August, they had offered me a managerial position to actually get paid employment. And I told my parents, I'm not going to university. University is going to be the same as college. I'm never going to be accepted. No one wants to know about disabled people. And I'm good at the job. I'm helping other disabled people find carers in urgent situations, and they're offering me a managerial position, which I was so excited about at the time. At 18, to get offered a managerial position is just a huge, big deal. And so I told my parents, and my mom said, no, you're going to university. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go to university. The students are going to be insane, people are going to be ignorant and narrow-minded, and I refuse to go through that process again. Something my mom said to me, which I'm always going to remember, never going to forget, is university is a great new experience. People go into to grow and improve and mature. People have come into university to change their mindsets and to convert their mind to different situations and different people and to learn. It's nothing like college. People actually go to uni to learn and change and evolve. And I remember saying to her, but what if it's exactly the same? And what if I get extremely depressed this time, and this time I don't know anyone? And she said to me, just go to university for 3 or 4 weeks. If you don't absolutely fall in love with it, then quit, and you can take the job on full time at the care agency as a manager. And that was our agreement. I went to university to study sociology, which is my first degree. I went to Middlesex University in Renfield, which was great. And within the first week, I had fallen in love with the idea of university lecturers, the lecture, the subject, students. It was just a whole other completely different experience to college. It was nothing like college. Don't get me wrong. I was again not really included by the students, but instead I wasn't isolated and excluded. So basically meaning students would talk to me in class, which was a change. They'd want to debate with me, they'd want to know my opinions on the subject, how I felt about different political agendas, but they weren't asking me to come and sit with them at lunch and on breaks. Instead, I would go and sit with them and say, I wouldn't even ask, can I sit with you? I'd just go and sit with them. And usually they wouldn't make conversation with me. I'd have to first initiate. But I started to learn how to have more confidence in myself. I think that's the most important part of the story, and really a life lesson for me, is I don't have to care what other people think about me. It's important for me to feel confident and comfortable with myself, and for me to be able to initiate conversations with others. I don't need them to start a conversation with me. I don't need anyone to feel sorry or bad for me, or to feel like I'm not an approachable person. So I decided I'm going to try a new tactic. I'm going to approach other people instead and try and get them to feel more comfortable with disability. And that's basically what I did for the whole 3 years of my first degree. And it was one of the best experiences I had. I didn't come out of it with a single friend to my name, not anyone I still keep in touch with today, but the experience itself taught me a great deal, and the whole subject of sociology and people is what's made me the person I am today. It's the subject of sociology that's made me want to continue studying. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you found my story interesting today, and I hope it helped anyone who feels a bit insecure about themselves or confidence issues, or anyone who feels like they're not enough for other people. Let me tell you, you're always enough. There's nothing to worry about. There's nothing to have lack of confidence for. You are completely enough. And the only person who has to think so is you. No one else matters. Anyway, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Bye-bye. Hi guys. Hope you've enjoyed watching my YouTube channel. Please do like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.